It's April 20th. 20th of April. It's 420, or as some like to call it, Weed Day. I guess we're doing this. This is Healthcare Triage. To be honest, this is an episode I thought about bailing on many times. There's just no way to talk about marijuana without somebody completely misinterpreting what I say. Some of you are going to call me a fascist for saying anything bad about pot at all. Others are going to attack me for not coming down on it hard enough. So I'm going to cloak myself, as I always do, in the power of data. Marijuana works by affecting the brain. It's a drug, like many others, with different effects on different people. The active ingredient is called tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC. THC bonds to protein-specific receptors in the brain to produce a number of results. It can have a mild sedative effect, and it can also lower your inhibitions. Marijuana can increase your pulse, lower your blood pressure, and increase your appetite. It can also interfere with short-term memory, lower your reaction time, and make you unsteady on your feet. But so can lots of other things that we like to eat, drink, or smoke. The real question is whether it's dangerous enough to be made illegal. And that's where the screaming usually starts. There's no evidence that marijuana causes a physical dependency, like heroin does. Some argue, though, that it can become psychologically addictive. Some will argue that the smoke is carcinogenic and causes lung cancer or respiratory disease. Others argue that regular use can affect the immune system. Still more argue that it increases the chance of developing a psychotic illness. But as I point out again and again in many of these videos, lots of things in life have both a benefit and a harm. No one should be under the illusion that marijuana has no harms. The question that we should care about is how much harm is there in marijuana? And does that harm outweigh the benefits so much that it should be made illegal? And now the benefits. There's a growing body of evidence that marijuana has use in many medical conditions to improve quality of life. And you need only talk to one of the gazillion marijuana users out there to hear about its other benefits as well. Moreover, there are lots of things in the world that can absolutely harm us that are totally legal. The two most obvious choices are tobacco and alcohol. Both of these substances are regulated but legal in most of the world. They can provide us with a useful benchmark against which we can compare marijuana. Don't blame the messenger. I'm just telling you what the science says. To the research. 2 years ago, a study was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, investigating the effects of marijuana and tobacco on pulmonary function. Researchers followed a cohort of more than 5,000 men and women over 20 years. They wanted to see how smoking tobacco and marijuana affected lung health. What did they find? Not surprisingly, tobacco use had significant negative effects on lung function. Marijuana use, though, had none. No lung effects at all. They couldn't even show that very high use of marijuana was bad for lung function, although the study wasn't powered for that specific analysis. Their conclusions, and I quote,